Want a super quick way to test just how strong an idea is, whether it's yours or somebody else's? It's just a 4 or 5 word question. I'm Tamsin Webster. I am a reasoning researcher and I am focused on how people think about new ideas. I'm also the founder of the Message Design Institute, where we put that work and the frameworks I've developed as a result to work for people like you who are trying to make change happen in the world. One of the possibly obvious requirements is that the idea that you're putting out there is strong enough to survive in the wild. And by wild, I mean people's deeply analytical and unconsciously intuitive desire to pick ideas apart. There's also, in this day and age, a lot of conversation about how can we get people to think more critically, by which we mean question a bit more about what people say to us and exactly how reasonable it might be. A lot of times that process of learning to think critically can be difficult and effortful. And frankly, a lot of the times it assumes that you have all sorts of fancy education, which not all of us have, by the way. But I have found that there are two questions that we can ask that really help expose to yourself or to somebody else just how solid that idea and the thinking behind it is. What are those questions? Number one, why would that work? This is best for something where someone is saying, hey, we need to do this to accomplish that. Now, what's interesting here is why would that work? It immediately pops somebody out of, let me give you the data and all of the explanations, and actually gets them to the point of, well, why would it work? And what you'll find is that oftentimes people haven't really thought about that. They're just operating sometimes from received ideas. Now, we've talked before about how some of those ideas, some of those statements, some of those things people say can serve as what's known as thought-ending clichés. Things like, it is what it is. The issue is a lot of times people use those things to stop thought. That's why they're called thought ending. But your job, if you really want to lean into the smart, capable, good person that you are, is to say, well, you've said that as if I don't need to think anymore about it. Just let me stop for a moment and ask, why would that work? If you're trying to test your own idea and make sure it'll stand up to scrutiny, have somebody else ask you and have you explain that to somebody else in language and concepts they already know and already understand. Now, I mentioned there were two questions. Why would that work is for those ideas that are about we should do X or we should take Y action to achieve whatever outcome. If you want to lean into that reasonable, curious person standard, test their idea, test your idea, then the question to ask for those kind of concept ideas is, what would make that true? So, now, what would make that true, just like why would that work, is a deceptively simple, straightforward question. But again, it doesn't require advanced knowledge or expertise to ask, nor does it require advanced expertise or knowledge to assess the answer you get back. By asking that question, what would make it true, you are asking that someone now to go beyond just personal opinion or even just data and evidence that they can point to, stats, etc., and say, well, that only can be true if this other thing, this deeper principle, hint, warrant, we've talked about those before, is in play. Now, again, you don't have to know about warrants, you don't have to know about any of this, but just remember those two questions. They'll make your idea stronger if you are asking them of yourselves, and they will help you be and help teach other people to be a little bit more thoughtful, curious, questioning, even critical in what you see and the information you take in. So, the next time someone says, we should do this because it will get us X, ask them, why would that work? If they just declare a statement or a concept, say, what would make that true? Two simple questions, very complex thinking behind it, but it will help make your ideas and your discussions just that much stronger.